But first, Anthony Albanese has squandered yet more taxpayer funds, this time on a vanity trip to the UK, where he attended a UK Labour conference. There, the international guest of honour spruiked his own electorate success to a sycophantic audience and helped prop up their scandal-ridden Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer.
What I see here in UK Labour, under this man, this leader, this Prime Minister, my friend, is the same determination that I know lives in every member of the Australian Labor Party.
And Anthony Albanese had some pointed comments for those on the right.
Tearing things down is easy, but it doesn't leave you with anything. The low politics of fear and resentment are easy, but they only divide the country, they don't advance it.
Now, that could have been as much a dig as UK Labour figures agitating for a change to their own leadership after a series of controversies have dogged Sir Keir Starmer. But honestly, what benefit is this to any Australian except Albanese himself and his over-inflated ego? It's not the first time Albo has supported a divisive UK Labour leader. Back in 2019, the then aspiring Australian Labour leader posed for a photo with controversial far-left UK opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn. They'd reportedly met at least 3 times over 14 months. Yes, this was the same guy who referred to members of terror groups Hamas and Hezbollah as friends. Opposition leader Susan Lee lashed the PM about today's speech, accusing Albanese of crossing a line.
In fact, he didn't just cross a line, he flew to the other side of the world to give a partisan political speech on behalf of a political party in another country. That is totally unacceptable.
And Treasurer Jim Chalmers predictably defended him.
He made sure that he met with both sides of politics while he was in the UK, and the head of state and the Prime Ministers of Canada and Spain. I think any objective observer of that would conclude that that was a pretty effective use of the Prime Minister's time.
But I'm sure most Australians would prefer Albanese to focus his efforts on meeting US President Donald Trump, given the growing political differences between the pair and the importance of resolving the tariffs issue, as well as securing a commitment to AUKUS. Sure, the pair may have very briefly met and taken that awkward selfie on the sidelines of the UN, and now have that first meeting scheduled finally for next month. But that's only coming 9 months after Trump was re-elected, and frankly, I have little confidence Albo won't get blown off again. Albo's visit to the UK comes days after his speech at the United Nations in New York, where he proudly spoke of Australia's recognition of Palestine. Contrast that speech with leaders from New Zealand and Singapore who are sensible enough to realise such a move is not just purely symbolic, it's an actual obstacle to peace. New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon told New Zealand Radio his countrymen could feel proud of the decision not to recognise a Palestinian state.
Is it a decision we can be proud of?
Well, I think we can be proud of it because we've made our own independent decision and assessment of it. We cannot recognise a state where terrorists actually play a role in its government.
And here's the Singapore Foreign Affairs Minister explaining why that country won't recognise Palestine either.
We will recognise the state of Palestine when it has an effective government that accepts Israel's right to exist and categorically renounces terrorism.
It's not that hard, is it, Albo?